Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Kitchen Table Wargaming Battle Report. This is going to be Black Legion, yes, you heard me right, against Drukhari. I'm running a Realspace Raid. This is my Archon. I'm copying some others on the internet who are using a VizArch model instead of the Archon because he just looks better for a Splinter Genius mastermind of a space raid. You know? We'll talk about all the different special rules in a second when we go over the armies, but these are the two warlords for today, and it's gonna be a fun times game. The last time I came and I faced off Russell and his Black Legion, my Drukhari lost by, was it 1 point? Yeah, it was insane. It was one of the most ridiculous games at turn 5. So we're back for some vengeance. Of course, that was also before I had the 9th edition codex. So Russell is experienced fighting against Drukhari recently with 9th edition codex. So it's not like he's not prepared here. So we'll come back for the list in just a second. All right, folks, here's the Drukhari Armada Battle Fleet Flotilla, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of bodies. I am running a modified, because I've learned over the last couple of games, a different list that has some of the backbone from what I was playing before and some changes. This is a Realspace Raid plus a patrol, which means I start with very few command points, but I have a lot of stuff that I hope will help. So here we go with our Archon. He has the Hatred Eternal Warlord trait, rerolling everything, hits wounds and melee and shooting. He has a blast pistol and the Gin Blade. Then I have 10 Cabalite Trueborn. There's a Dark Lance and a Blaster, and the rest are all Splinter Rifles. Then I have, over here, Prophets of Flesh, Homunculus, Vexator Mask. He is upgraded, so he's a Master Homunculus. He'll stand back up on a 2+ when he dies. He also has Twisted Animator, so he can regen D3 racks every command phase. That'll be nice. 10 Hamoxites. They are going to be this squad here. They're kind of multicolored, but they are there. Then I've got 5 racks and 5 racks. Yes, the little hooded, shrunken racks. They'll do things, trust me. Just because they're deformed doesn't mean they won't be special. Then over here, I've got Cult of Redgrief. I haven't used Redgrief in 9th edition, but I loved Redgrief. So I brought the Master Succubus. She has the Blood Dancer relic, so it's the Strength 5, -3, flat 3 damage. She's going to take Stim Addict for her Warlord trait, so I'll get 3 drugs rolled up for her in a minute. Then I've got 10 Blood Brides. There's a Razor, Flail, and Shardnet in this squad for them, for the Redgrief. Then also the Agonizer and Blast Pistol on the Hecatrix. If you are not aware, Redgrief rerolls failed charges and gets +2, I want to say, I'm going to have to double check, +2 on their advance, I think, but the reroll and failed charges. Then my patrol. My patrol is Cult of Strife. Yes, this is a Lilith model. She's going to become a Razor Flail Succubus, so we're playing her as a Razor Flail Succubus. Also paid the points. She's a Master Succubus, so she has competitive edge. Razor Flails and the Dark Lotus Toxins, so it's she's going to be a nasty combo. I think I'm just going to give her the Strength drug, so she'll be Strength 5, -2, 2 flat damage. Competitive edge means she'll re-roll the failed damage attacks. Then I've got 10 more Blood Brides. Going the old school models here, except for the Razor Flail, because the Shardnet, I didn't have one back there. And this lady with her Razor Jab thing will be my Razor Flails for the Blood Brides. Then, finishing everything out, we have Drazar, the Master of Blades. He's rocking around with the patrol detachment, 2 5-man squads of Incubi, 2 5-man squads of Mandrakes. Those are my blades for hire. Obviously, these guys are all in the Realspace Raid. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Raiders and 2 Venoms. And that's it. That's a whole lot to say for a 2,000 point list. So we'll come back and talk about Black Legion now. Alrighty, here's the Black Legion list. This is going to be a blast. These are some models I have not played against, so I'm excited about that. Things I can tell you off the top of my head, we've got 3 squads of cultists. There's 10 in each. We have an Abaddon. What Warlord traits, etc. does he have?
It's first among traders. It's a 5-up. That's the False Emperor against Imperium.
Correct, which I'm not, so I'm happy. There are 3, count them, Decimators. He was telling me the guns, if you don't know the guns, they're wonky. It's basically a mortal wound gun. It's like you said, Strength 1.
Yeah, it's Strength 1, 0 P, 1 damage, but when you do 2-ups on mortal wounds, it instead of doing the normal damage, it just does mortal wounds when you're wounding.
Just spits out mortal wounds. Pretty cute. I like it. So that'll be fun to see. And because I can't really save, well, my racks can save against mortal wounds. Nobody else can. So that'll be interesting. This guy was
Terminator Sorcerer. He's got Council of Traders. Council of Traders gives him an extra Warlord trait, along with the Dark Apostle gets it as well.
Yes.
His
right
Warlord trait
there.
is he rerolls ones when he casts. It's Warp Lord, I believe it's called. And then the Dark Apostle has Trusted War Leader, 5-up, keep a command point, and then back to the Sorcerer. Sorry, I got off track. And the Sorcerer has the Relic. He has Angel's Bane. It's strength 5, -2, 2 damage, and against Imperium it's 3 damage, which won't matter here neither. So.
Yeah, but it's cool. I like it. Then you can see there's a squad of 5 bikes. They have bolters.
Combi bolters and chain swords, and the Aspiring Champion has a Lightning Claw.
Excellent, I suppose. Ha ha ha. We got the 3 Obliterators. Can't leave home without them. There are actually 5 Chaos Space Marines right there. Yes, there's a little squad. You said they've got bolters and the chain swords?
Yeah, they got bolt pistols, chain swords, and the Aspiring Champion has a Combi Melta and a Lightning Claw.
Excellent. Then you got Havocs, Last Cannon Havocs, correct?
Yeah, Last Cannon Havocs, and the Aspiring Champion has a bolt pistol and a chain sword.
Alrighty, and the Termite Drill. That's it. Well, this pops in right at 2,000 points as well, correct?
Correct. 2,000 on the button.
Yes. To make it 2,000 on the button, you better watch out. But I have a cultist.
Uh-oh.
With a flamer, and he's going to be the hero today.
Nice. Oh, that's hilarious. I will try to kill him right away, just because. Nah, I'll throw my ugly racks at that guy. How about that? That'll be fun. Very cool list. So this will be really wild and different for us, or at least for me. Russell's really, really good with Black Legion, so it'll be a lot of fun for this game. We'll be back in just a minute well, for you it won't be a minute. We're going to set up, deploy, get the missions rolled, but we'll do all the deployment shenanigans and then come back. Here we go. We rolled up mission number 11. That is minimize losses. Neither of us are going for that secondary. But you have 6 objectives, so you've got 4 that are basically in the center of the board. Well, not center technically, but they're in the no man's land. There's one in my deployment zone, and then there's one back there in Russell's deployment zone. Then you've got these 18-inch bubbles from the end up to here on each side, so we're deploying on the short end, I guess, but it's a deep deployment zone. We're also using the Games Workshop tournament series for the terrain. So this is wild. It's not a ton of terrain, but it messes with deployment. So I can't get up on the line with any of my stuff unless I want it out in the open for his Havocs and his Obliterators and whatever else. Same thing for Russell. So Decimators are clumped up over there. They're by themselves, right? Just Decimators. Then over here is everything else. It says there, woo, haha, and a Termite Drill. With that one has the Havocs and the Chaos Space Marines. Okay. And all the characters are here in a bubble, Obliterators are here in a bubble, Chaos Cult is like everything is there, and the bikes. So for me, I've got a squad of racks over there, got some mandrakes, this has, the green one has the Trueborn, this one has my Cult of Strife, she has a +1 strength, and then I rolled drugs for everybody else. I just want to make sure the Razor Flail's got her +1 strength. I've got a squad of racks back here. Then I have the gold and purple one I always use for racks. I don't know why. So it has Homoxites and Homunculus in it. This has the red grief succubus. We rolled up for hers, and she's got +1 toughness, +1 attack, and +1 strength. Pretty nice for her. Then this Venom has Drazar and Incubi. This one has Archon and Incubi. And there's 5 more Mandrakes right there. And that is it. Everything is done. None of us have deep strikes. Excuse me. So we're deployed. We are ready to go. Well, I guess I should show you secondaries real fast. So we're looking at, we both took Assassination. We both took Rod, which is AKA Retrieve Octaria's data. I have Stranglehold, and Russell has Grind Them Down. How many command points do you start with?
13.
He starts with 13. I start with 6. I'm spending a lot to make this Realspace Raid plus Patrol happen. So we'll see if it works or not. We'll find out. So here we go. Go ahead, sir. Oh, he starts with a 3. I answer with a 5. So, the Drukhari are going to take first turn. It's going to be kind of boring, except that I'll get to do some placements. But other than that, it'll be kind of boring. So we'll be back after Drukhari turn 1. All right, end of turn 1 for the Drukhari. Here's what I've done. I've moved some Mandrakes where they're out of line of sight. They didn't do anything yet. These racks moved up to sit on the objective. This Raider moved forwards and could actually draw a line of sight way back there. There's a drill. Yes. Shot the drill, had to re-roll the wound, but it paid off. I took some 4 wounds off of it with that. This raider shot and missed, but the Dark Lance from the Trueborn shot and hit and did 6 wounds, so I took 10 off the Termite, so that was good. These guys moved up, couldn't see anything. The Venoms could draw line of sight to the bike, so I killed 1. Yay, go me, I guess. These Mandrakes moved up, then they did Rod, retrieve Octeria's data, and they're sitting on an objective. This Venom came up and could see through the building down there, and he saved that shot that went through, so didn't do any damage. This Raider moved forward. That's it. I fired 4 guns, I think. Did 10 wounds on a drill, because that's all there is to see. As you can tell, this terrain is a blast. He was telling me beforehand that it really changes the game a lot, and I am now quite thoroughly impressed. So here we go. Black Legion turn 1, coming up next. Well, folks, Black Legion has struck back. They've been vicious. These guys did the Trade of Tiders. Tide of Traders, I like that. You like that? That was good. Tide of Traders, and they performed the Retrieving Octeria's data. So I got to see the Rod. Over here, that Raider's dead. I lost a single witch getting out. I did lightning fast on this, and it because it was being shot by this silly Termite drill with tip of the spear. Mm-hmm. Yep. So Russell was like, I never use this because it's usually pointless. But for the drill, he moved. He moved as far as he could forward, and then you advanced him.
Warp time.
Warp timed him. Right, sorry. Warp timed, so he got all the way up to here. Well, he was, back here. But he was in range to get the melta shots into this Raider, and did a thing there. And then he charged in and got to this Raider and killed it. It's horrific against vehicles. It's so, it's cool, but it's, wow. I did not actually explode. Did not explode. Did not explode. Did not explode. I was really lucky with that. I lost a single guy getting out here. I lost 1 witch there. I didn't lose anywhere else getting out of vehicles, which for me is miraculous. I used lightning fast in the combat phase because his number of attacks
is D3 plus
was
1.
D3 plus 1, and his weapon skill was 4. So it made it weapon skill 5. He rolled 4 attacks. He got 2 through, and then just melted through the Raider. So poor thing. So that all happened there. The other shooting, these poor guys had an unfortunate going and only did 2 wounds to that Raider. That was the Havocs. Then they shot at this one the second time with Endless Cacophony.
Yes.
Is that right? So they took the last 3 wounds off of this Raider with Endless Cacophony. So Russell he used a lot of command points. But
I went up to 14 at the start of the turn,
Yep.
which I kept 1 in your turn.
Yes, and you
So
regen
Turtle,
1.
yep.
Yeah.
So Turtle, oh my
Total.
goodness.
Total.
Total,
We're
turn
both
1,
doing
I
it.
spent 10 total command points. I'm left with 5.
It
I
was
gained 1 back
wild. Yep.
and kept 1, and yeah.
It was wild. It was wild. Decimators, I don't like them. I've decided it's official. They did some wrecking. They killed Venoms really easily with the Mortal Wound stuff. The bikes advanced up to there to get on the objective to keep me from scoring 15. That's lovely, isn't it? And everything else is spread around. So we got Obliterators. Didn't really get to where they can shoot yet, but they're coming. Cultists back here. These guys, you cast a spell, so they're at a 4-up invul as long as the Apostle
Yeah, so the
is
Dark
alive.
Apostle gives a 5-up invuln bubble,
Yeah.
and the Sorcerer gave him the
The thing.
the Zinch one.
The Zinch thing.
Yeah, the Zinch thing. So that as long as they're next to the Apostle, they'll have a 4-up invuln. If they get away from the Apostle or the Apostle dies, then they'll go to a 5-up invuln.
Then yeah.
Because it either gives them an invuln or improves an invuln.
The Apostle will be hard to get to. There is that. There's your Sorcerer, speaking of. So he moved himself out here to be able to warp time on the drill because you have to be within 3 inches to do that. So that worked out really well for him. I think that's everything. 1 Decimator is over there. He came around the backside to shoot a Venom. And 2 of the Decimators took some mortal wounds in return for all their efforts. But they killed whatever they looked at. I guess the one exception being the nearest Decimator didn't quite kill. He shot into the racks, I think, and he killed 3 of them. They did not fail morale. So that's where we stand. I've got a lot of things on the board that I wished were still in transports, but I'm close enough that I think advancing and charging will work. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. So we'll be back with Drukhari turn 2 in a second. Okay, folks. Well, the turn 2 is ended for the Drukhari. They've done the rod action. Good job. Bravo. Props. The racks, they stayed still. these cultists over here got shot and charged by my mandrakes, and then they overwatched, killed one in Overwatch, they killed one in melee. The mandrakes got the better end of the deal, and we got them down to 2 guys left, and then 1 ran away. And 1 stayed. He's the hero, man with the axe. My Hamoxites and Homunculus got out of the boat, came over this way to sit on the objective, because I can't be giving those away. Those 2 racks stayed put on that objective. You'll notice the termite drill is gone. I forgot to put a marker there, but it died to 2 Blaster and Darklance from the Trueborn, who have bravely moved up here and charged into the Havocs that no longer exist. The Drezar and the Incubi also charged into the Havocs. This particular boat is now loaded with the Blood Brides and Succubus from the Cult of Strife that were rudely disembarked over there when the termite drill and Havocs killed the raider. So they hopped in the boat, it came up, did not advance, it just got up here and fired off a shot that I think did absolutely nothing. Oh yeah, I did. I rolled a 2. Re-rolled with Blackheart. Rolled a 2. It was great. My witches got out of their transport that was back here in this side. They ran, they advanced, and they made it to within a 7-inch charge of both decimators. So I charged with that raider so he wouldn't overwatch my witches in the face. Then I charged them in, they made the charge. 5 witches, dropped him to 4 wounds, and he was fresh at the start, so I was proud of them. The other 5 witches dropped this guy to 6 remaining. So that was pretty healthy wounding. I was impressed. Over here, the Succubus from Red Grief, she ran forwards this direction, charged in all the way around to the back side of the bike, so she was giving the reroll 1s to wound to the witches, and then after her attacks, she consolidated back here to put 2 bodies on the objective, to his 2 bodies on the objective. We managed to kill 2 bikes, and that was it. Kind of lackluster. The raider did nothing. She only killed 2 because she failed to wound with 3 and failed to hit with 2. It was amazing. Even with her +1 attacks and strength and toughness and all that jazz. And that's it. I think that's the whole summary. The Havocs have died. Oh yeah, Drezar and the Incubi did pile into the Chaos Space Marines that you can't see through the wall. And they smacked Drezar. And the Drezar, the Master of Blades, took 4 wounds. Just 4-up saves, not a thing for him. Or 3-ups either. There you have it. So I did complete Stranglehold again. I have completed the Rod action, and that's it. Oh, I scored 10 on primary. So, that's the end of the turn. We'll be back for Black Legion. Turn 2. Retaliation. That's the name of the turn. Retaliation. End of turn 2, Black Legion. It was a pretty vicious kick back in the teeth. So here's what has happened. This part was not so vicious. This guy bravely ran, fought, shot, all that stuff, but he died ultimately. Poor guy. He was a champion, but he is now dead. These guys are still here on the objective. These guys are on the objective. These guys are not, but they did force the Obliterators to shoot. No, they didn't. They died the first round of shooting. Mm-hmm. Who it was that was really rude was these 5 Incubi, or the 4 that were left. 2 of them touching and cover saved 8 shots from the Obliterators, and then they had to fight or shoot twice, and there was a second round of shooting that finally picked them up. It was beautiful. Drezar was very much dead because Psychic Smite, you can't really do anything about that, so he died. These boys, so proud of them, they took no wounds off of Mr. Terminator Sorcerer, and then of course they did no wounds, so maybe less proud, but they're there. Over here, this was all grim. Oh, it was very sad. The Raider died, and it died before he had to spend for Endless Cacophony. So all my witches got out, nobody died getting out. Then the Succubus got out. Whale didn't seem to matter, because he Endless Cacophony, he killed that, shot into the witches, or wait.
Yeah, the cultist.
No, yeah, it was. The cultist shot in and killed 6. I think you had 6 shots on the Obliterators that picked up the rest. Yep. Mm-hmm. It was sad. It was sad.
And then
homies over here charged through and got into my Succubus with Razor Flails. Even lightning fast reactions. She only had to make 4 saves, and she failed exactly 4 saves. It's really? What do you, why? It was so sad. I even rerolled one. It was horrible. She, with the Razor Flails and all her extra buffs, was going to just eliminate them. Oh, I could dream. I can wish. Over here, this boy, he did charge into the Raider, and the Raider took took 2 wounds from him and did 2 wounds in return. Or no, only 1. Sorry, he's rolling amazing saves on the Decimators. And only the Decimators, but still. This guy got smacked by my 2 last witches, who then ran away. took another wound, so brackets him again, but now both of the decimators are free to do all kinds of evil. These guys moved out. Oh, the apostles over here. They're the apostles?
Yeah, this
Disciples.
is the
They're
Dark
apostles.
Disciples.
They're the disciples. They went over and did the retrieve Octarius data, and then they all did their thing here. So that's it. There's still Chaos Space Marines in that corner. They had to fall back. So there was a lot of stuff happening that turn. I put a lot of things up in his grill. I made a lot of saves where they mattered, and then I failed. Just her. If she could have stayed alive, I would have been so happy. But yeah, we'll be back for the Drukhari. Going into turn 3 now. So we'll be back in just a second. Turn 3 for the Drukhari is over. Homies, staying put. Homies, staying put. The the Mandrakes, they ran and they advanced a mighty 6 inches on their advance. I was proud of them. Did a big old advance, got on the objective, so we took that one back. We have these guys. I spent the command point to fall back and shoot. They shot everything into him. That whole 2-up save worked out real well. They also shot and killed a decimator over here that was on 5 wounds. They shot and did you save it? I don't remember.
Save that one.
The blaster
and then the
did
Racks
no
killed
good.
him.
The Racks, or no, the Incubi.
Oh,
Incubi charge killed them. The Succubus did take 3 wounds off of this one that had, it was at 6. So she took a few wounds off of their blast pistol. Charged here, spent the points for the great enemy, and I killed 1 and put 1 on 1 wound. That was it. It was horrible. Made a lot of good saves. And yeah, I was very, very sad. I had piled the Incubi into the Obliterators. He just went ahead and when he consolidated, when the one died, he pulled that one that was in combat and then walked around the other direction. So the Incubi are there to get shot. Over here, the boat shot and took 5 wounds off the Decimator. The Archon shot a bike and killed it, then charged the other bikes, killed it, and piled in because I thought, hey, that's cool, I'll kill a Decimator. And then I remembered that he can shoot in combat, so I probably lost my Archon, and that's a bad, stupid on me.
But it was a bad turn for the Decimators.
It was a bad
Decimators
turn.
down, and this one took a whole bunch of wounds, so that was a strong turn.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. I have him at least kind of pinned in his side of the board, but that's about all I've got going for me right now. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what's left alive when the dust settles, and it'll be and we're both down to 0 command points. We've been burning them. So that's the end of the turn for Drukhari turn 3. Black Legion turn 3 up next. Okay, Black Legion turn 3. I'm starting on the easy side. These things are the way they were when you last saw them. Yes. Now, the less pleasant things. So, the Mandrakes are all dead, which was actually good because he was going to charge Mr. Terminator Sorcerer, who's now back over here. He was going to charge in over here and take that away, and then he would have had another point. That would have been unfortunate, so it's probably not bad that they died. Then he decided, seeing how they were all dead, to charge back into my Cabalite Trueborn. You'll notice there's 1 there because I forgot to roll morale. Let's see what happens. If I roll a 1 on camera, I'll be super happy. Nope, so he's gone. Okay, so that's the end of that problem. So the Cavalite Warriors, Trueborn, have died. Over here, the Incubi have died. Over here, Mr. Abaddon made his charge, killed the boat. It failed to explode. We noticed I haven't exploded a single vehicle in this game. Kind of sad. Actually, nothing exploded. None of your decimators have blown up either. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's that. The Archon died, just like I thought. He got mortal wounded in the face by a decimator. And it did make me feel a little better. Russell confirmed that he would have taken his consolidate move in melee with the decimator to tag my Archon, so he would have been shot in melee anyways, so I feel a little better about that. A little worse at the same time, but it is what it is. So he has, again, scored Grind Them Down. He has picked up another rod, retrieving Octarius data. There's a group of cultists in that back building that they're now 6 in, wholly within 6, whatever, to pick up the 3rd one. And that's, I think, it. He has killed me on Assassinate really well. The only thing I have left at this point is Mr. Homunculus back here, which I don't know that he'll get to anytime real soon. And that's it. I still have a thing or two I can do, but I'm down to, 3 units? 4 units. So, here we go. turn 4 for the Drukhari, and we'll see if we can continue to make a game out of this. Ha ha ha. Drukhari turn 4 is over. These guys, we did some measures and some things, and I looked at things, and I ran as far away as I could while staying on the objective. And I was afraid of the Decimator and the Obliterators. They've got the firepower to do it. These guys moved, finally, just to put the Hex Rifle in the door so I could shoot the Decimator. Look who's not there! The 3-wound Decimator. So this is how great it was. This is the only shot in the game for my turn. He rolled a 5 to hit. He rolled a 6 to wound, which does, it's a 2 damage weapon. On an unmodified roll of a 6, it causes a mortal wound in addition. He failed to save with a 1, and that's all we wrote. And then, guess what? It did not explode. So we've destroyed, I had 6 vehicles that I brought. He had 3 Decimators and a drill. Nothing exploded in this game, which was kind of, yeah. We're both like hoping so hard that the last 3 things would have exploded and nothing did. So that's entertaining. So that's that. Over here, obviously I didn't do anything, but, oh, Mandrakes, they're back. And we did a retrieve Octaria's data one more time, so that was cool. And it also means he has to kind of decide which, where to put some of his firepower and things like that. So maybe it helps me, maybe it doesn't. But I did score points. So that's the end of my turn. I'll end the turn with a command point. Russell's going to go up to 2 for this next turn. And we'll be back after turn 4. Well, the Black Legion have done it. They killed 4 racks. He did not fail his morale. I'm so proud of him. And the transhuman thing for Prophets of Flesh almost helped. But in the end it didn't. It was so close. These guys are all fine. Abaddon over there scooted backwards to not be the closest thing to me because I could move pretty far. And then the cultist came out of the building and advanced just enough to get on that point. On this side of the board, the sorcerer, this dude's been making his mark in this game. Hadn't necessarily killed a ton, but he's doing a lot of powers. He's been buffing a lot of things. So anyways, he came up, he moved up to right about there, did warp time, moved around over here. These boys had moved, they advanced, that's how they got up there. And that was that, so they took that objective. The Obliterators are no longer in the middle of the table because they advanced. They got far enough on their advance to land inside this building, and they're sitting on the objective. Very nice. And shooting very much into my Mandrakes who are no longer here. So they're dead. They did their job. They scored me 4 points for retrieving Octaria's data. Or, that's weird the way the math goes. It becomes a total of 8 points for me now. So there's that. That's it. I've got a bunch of Homoxites and a Homunculus, a singular rack, and we're going to make the Black Legion cry. I don't know how we're going to do that, but that's the plan. We'll be back after turn 5 for the Drukhari. It is turn 5 ending for the Drukhari. My Homunculus has run away so hard. I mean, why not, right? Because I've done with my primaries. That's scored. I don't need to stay there. This dude, he ran. He advanced to 6 inches. He made a charge into the Terminator Sorcerer. The Homoxites ran. They advanced 4. Made their long charge. I rolled a 9. Needed an 8. It was a very exciting moment. We left my lone Deuterino to hit the Sorcerer last because he's the champion in some previous games against Russell, and then the Sorcerer died. The racks don't pretend that Homoxites and racks can't hit. They do, and especially when you have a pocket CP for the Torturer's Craft. Rerolling the wound rolls. They only dropped 4 hits out of or 4 wounds out of the whole mess of attacks, and I only had 7 guys hitting them, so that was pretty cool. The Chaos Space Marines decided to pick on my lone ranger because I killed Russell's favorite model, that sorcerer. He died. I killed him, so they killed my special rack mandrake creation thing the homunculus created in his pit. That's it. So I've finished out my scoring. I haven't totaled it up yet, but I'm done with what I can do. And Russell has 1 chance to kill off these Homoxites, and I don't think he really has a chance to kill the homunculus, but we'll get his score in a second, and then we'll tell you how it all ended. At the end of the game, we're still on the board. I'm proud of them. And we'll be back in a second for Black Legion, turn 5. End of the turn, end of the game. Homoxites are dead. You'll see a picture in a second of the save throws. They made it long enough in the game to have a 4-up invulnerable save, 5-up feel no pains. And what do? I let obliterators shoot them with 2 damage weapons, and I made 2 saves. I won't tell you the number. You can look at the picture and chuckle to yourself. We laughed. They're gone. And that was actually a big deal because he needed that to be able to grind them down for the last turn. So that was fairly significant. It was good. Got rid of him or them. Mr. Homunculus is the lone survivor for the Drukhari. He's back here, loud and proud, not really doing anything, but that's okay. Over here, moved around, shuffled. Abaddon actually, I think he killed like 2 of the Homoxites also. Or he killed one because I ignored damage on the first one. Cultist killed like 3. Yeah, Cultist killed 3 because I couldn't roll 4
10
ups.
shots killed 3 of them.
10 shots out of Cultist. The Cultist actually killed a lot of stuff when they're shooting. It was really funny. And then the Obliterators just finished everything else off. And him scoring at the end of the turn, so we picked up 15 for primary. So, folks, it was a super fun game. I feel like I played my Drukhari wrong because he has, like, most of an army left on the table. Like, I don't know what happened there.
He killed 3 decimators, drill, bikes.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny. Like, everybody's like, oh, the Drukhari just kill everything they touch, and probably can. I think the deployment and the board was super cool because it kept us from, like, it kept my Drukhari from being able to be in and charged in turn 1. And that gave 2 rounds where you were shooting at stuff and popping raiders and transports. And I think that actually made a difference.
I deployed very defensively, which cost me on primaries in turn 2 and 3 because I only scored 5 and 5.
Correct.
But I think playing defensively like that gave me an army to come back at the end of the game.
Right, and you needed it, yeah. It made a big difference. There were some things, some saves. My Succubus with a Bloodglaive, she didn't do anything. She killed 2 bikes, and she killed 1.5 Obliterators. That was all she did. That was disappointing. She was supposed to do more than that. My Razor Flail Succubus got dead before she got a chance to do anything. I was really counting on her to do some business. So there were some disappointing things on the saves, and it was my 4-ups. I could not make a 4-up save today. I didn't make 4-ups at all for the Succubus, either of them, and Drazar. But that was super fun. So here we go. Here's the score. It comes down to 75 points to 83 points. So the Black Legion takes it away. Super good game. Really, really fun. No command points left for either of us. Yeah, that was a blast. Do you feel like you have an MVP for your side?
I'm going to have to say, normally it's not my Obliterators because they're so swingy, but the fact that they stayed alive and were able to shoot the whole game was made a big difference. Then again, the Terminator Sorcerer with the warp time and playing games over here, it gave me the extra distance.
He also helped with that smite into Drazar.
It's either between the Obliterators or... You know what? It wasn't. It was these cultists over here.
Those cultists. Oh my gosh, that was fun. Super cool. I'm not sure. On my side, like everybody kind of did what they're supposed to do, except for the Succubuses that just died. But I don't know. Maybe my little Mandrakes. They came in fairly big, being able to pop back in that back corner and get the last Octarius data point that I could score. And then again, these Homoxites make it all the way back across the board, stopping him from doing Octarius data. Or did you actually pull that off?
No, because I had to fall back.
Oh, right, because you had to fall back, correct. Yeah. So that helped a little bit too. But yeah, super cool game. Thank you very much, sir. It's been a blast. This has been another Battle Report from Kitchen Table Wargaming. Hope y'all enjoy this one.